Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Do Your Parents Want to Stay Home, a weekly virtual caregiver education series. I'm Infinity Martin, Community Health Engagement Specialist with Sugar and Spice In-Home Care. We are a nurse-owned and operated chronic disease management and caregiving agency, proudly serving Flagstaff and about 1 hour radius surrounding. Our specialty is helping older adults truly thrive wherever they call home regardless of any life-limiting conditions. Today, I have my dad with me, and he is a physical therapist and hypnotherapist. He graduated from Northern Arizona University in 1986 and became a physical therapist, and he's been doing this for a long time. Thanks for coming.
Thank you. Thank you.
Good to have you.
Thank you. So so we're going to talk about transfers today, but before we get into that too much, I want to mention that when someone's discharged from rehab or the hospital, typically a physical therapist will check them out for mobility and safety. So you may have a discharge paper that'll mention about transfers, about if they should use a wheelchair or a walker. So check on that. And then if you have any questions, that's a good time to ask them.
Perfect.
Okay?
Yeah, so we're going to be covering transfers, and the first one will be from the bed to the wheelchair.
Yeah.
Okay.
Beds from bed to sitting.
Oh, bed to sitting, sorry, and then the wheelchair. Okay, bed to sitting first. Okay, and I'm the patient, so we can demonstrate. All right, I'll take my shoes off. Okay.
Okay. So first thing, if the person's unable to help themselves, you need to use good ergonomics, in which case you might need to use what's called a sheet draw. So to do that, you would get a hold of a sheet and just slide the person, getting yourself down as low as you need to. Slide the person. And you might need to go a couple different places. So if I wanted to do her legs, I'm going to have to come down to her feet area. Okay. So then you may have to help the person roll to their side. So you're there for protection. And if they can do it on their own, that's great. Otherwise, you may have to get in there and help them roll. And then you're going to be there in front of them. If they need assistance sitting up, you want to be by their shoulder to help them. The first thing is to get their legs over the edge. That's the pull. And if I'm going to help her out, I've got to have one hand on her shoulder. And if she can help me, I'm going to count because everyone knows about counting. So we're going to go to 3. Okay, so we can get up on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Up we go. Okay, so once you get someone from lying down to sitting up, we need to pause for a moment to let their blood pressure normalize. Because when you're lying down, there's only so much blood in the brain. If you suddenly come up, the blood's going to drain down to the feet. So you just pause for a moment. And then when it's, should have mentioned this earlier. So before you do anything, you need to check the surfaces you're going to be on. Make sure there's no loose carpet, any cords, or anything like that, any grandkid toys. Then the other thing is to check yourself. So make sure you don't have any hanging jewelry. Check your wrist to make sure you're not going to cut your family member or something's going to get pulled off. So once it's time, and you may need to have your hand on them to study them. So when we work with people, we're going to have our legs on either side of their legs. That way you're not trapped. If your legs in between, they start to fall, you're going to go with them. So you want to be bracing them by being on the outside. And then again, we're going to use the numbers because most people know how to count. So this is so familiar. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, and stand up. You're going to pull them a little bit forward so their weight's over their feet. And then you're going to use a squat type motion to come up with it.
Should I bring the wheelchair over here yet, or?
Yeah.
Okay.
Pause it.
Yeah. Oh.
Okay, I need to talk about gait belts just for a moment. Lots of people have gait belts, some don't, but basically you're going to get down as low as possible. So you're over the pelvis, not over soft areas. You want to be over a bony area. Then you're going to tighten it up. And it needs to be pretty firm, okay? Obviously, if someone's, had prostate surgery or something else going on, then you're gonna have to make adjustments. So get the teeth in there.
So you go in where the teeth are and then over to the teeth. Okay.
So that gives you one more thing to hang on to. But if the person has a lot of soft tissue, if there's any reason that's not safe, you can still get the person up just by holding onto their pelvis. Okay. So we talked about getting your legs on the outside of your person's legs. And then you want to be in good ergonomics. So you're going to be down low. Okay. So stick those together. So we're going to use the counting method again. I'm going to count to 3. Okay, when we get to 3, we're going to come up.
Okay.
You ready? 1, 2, 3. Okay, you're going to pause again now for the blood pressure to normalize so the person isn't too dizzy. Okay, and then for there, I'm going to show you the actual movement of the transfer. So we're going to shuffle a little bit.
Okay.
First of all, we're going to get them away from the bed just a little bit. Okay, and then we're going to rock them one way. Okay, help them move their leg. Rock them the other way. Rock them again. Okay. Okay. Now you get them lined up nice and straight, and we'll get a wheelchair here. Yeah, a really important safety thing. So if you have a wheelchair, a couple things to look for. You need to have these out of the way, either pick them up and get them off there, or make sure they're all the way rotated out. Second thing, super important, is to make sure the brakes are on, because you don't want to be trying to get the person there and have the wheelchair go away. Right. So we're going to use that method. We're going to rock, 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 and rock. So you help them get back. And then once their legs are against the edge of the wheelchair, then we're going to do like a squat. So we're going to let the person know what you're doing. Okay, we're going to sit down. Okay, so you bring them forward just a little bit. And then 1, 2, 3. Okay, sit. Okay, so as they're going down, I'm going down also. I'm not bending forward. I'm staying down low. Okay, so that's it from the wheelchair. Okay, now we're going to talk about going from a wheelchair to a chair. So there's some safety things here. On the wheelchair, you want to make sure that these wheels, the ones in front, are out of the way. So no one's going to be tripping over those. When it comes to chairs, ideally you'll have a chair that's not going to move and then we'll have arms on it. But in the case that you don't, you want to have the chair up against a wall or something where it can't roll. And then if you can lock this part out, that's good. But if you can't, just work with it. So the same idea, you're going to be on either side. You're going to get your body weight down low. And then you're going to use that kind of rocking side to side to move the person. Okay, so on the count of 3, we're going to stand up. 1, 2, 3, and up. So when they stand up, I stand up. I'm going to rock side to side. So I'll try and move. There we go, we're rocking. Okay, we make sure we're clear of the wheelchair first. And I'm going to back up so she can feel the wheelchair behind her, or the regular chair. You got it?
Yep.
Okay. When I say 3, we're going to sit down. 1, 2, 3. Good. All right, that's basically it as far as transferring from bed to wheelchair, wheelchair to chair. Okay. Okay, so not everyone can do that little side shuffle. They can't transfer weight from one side to the other. And so we're going to do a stand and pivot. So what we need to do first is make sure their legs are together. Then we're going to do that same thing, safety thing. So we're going to have our legs on the outside to keep them from falling one side or the other. The coming to stand up is going to be the same, but now her feet are not going to move. We're still going to come up and we're going to pivot, and then she'll be sitting in the wheelchair.
Okay.
Okay, so on the count of 3, we're going to stand up. 1, 2, 3, up. There we go. Okay.
Okay.
And then we're just going to pivot. And then we're going to sit down. 1, 2, 3, and sit. Good. That looked a little awkward on the foot part. Now we're going to talk about walkers, and this also applies to canes. So you need to adjust it just right. So right now this is way too high for me. Okay. And if it's too low, what happens is the person bends forward and a couple things happens there. They're using their neck muscles, they're using their back muscles, and their weight is forward. So they're going to tend to propel that walker forward. Okay. If it's too high, like this is, depending on what's going on with me physically, I might hold on to it and tend to go backwards. So it's really important to have it at just the right height. And just the right height, kind of a rough rule, is to have it the bony areas on your hips. That's about where you want the hands. So it'd be an angle about like this. Okay. So I'm going to adjust this really quick. So most things have these clip-ons. You want to make sure they match. I'm going to go to like the third hole. It's important to make sure you do all of them. Okay. So So for my height, this is about right. Could be down maybe one more, but right now this is pretty good. And this may or may not be good for my model here. So I'm going to get this. So this is going to be moving from the side, so not in front of her anymore, because that's hard to do a pivot that way. And chances are, if they need that stand and pivot, they're really not going to be independent with a walker. So now I'm going to help her from the side. I'm going to get this in pretty close. And we're going to do the same, if we need to, we're going to do the same assisted stand. So we're going to count to three, and then you stand up. And when you come up, you're going to hold on to that area right there. Okay?
Am I gonna put my
Yeah.
arms here and then push to stand instead of grabbing up here, right?
Yeah, it's important to
Okay.
not grab the walker because they're going to fall back over like that.
Okay.
So we're going to start off with her hands on the wheelchair.
Okay.
Okay. I'm going to help her again. We're going to do the same thing, count to three. Okay,
And
so 1, 2, and 3. So I got a hold of her. Come on up. Put your hands on the thing. Okay, good. So she might need to pause for a moment just to let her blood pressure normalize. And once you're at that point, then just you can stand right there, have a hold of her of this belt. Okay, go ahead. Yeah.
And then, so when you're getting up, it's really important to lean forward a little bit as the person that's trying to get up, right? So, one thing I remember really easily is nose over toes. That helps me remember what to do when a person is supposed to get up from a wheelchair. Okay, so now I'm just wondering, how do you know if the person that you're caring for is ready to walk without the gait belt? Is there some sort of test that you can do at home?
Yeah, so this is a rough test, but so you need to see how much they're using their vision for balance. And if that's clear, then you can go to testing what happens when they're using their legs. Okay, so the first thing is going to be you have their hands just a little bit off the surface, and you let the person know, okay, you're going to take your hands off of the walker. You can use it if you need to, but we're going to check your balance. So the first thing we're going to do is have her close her eyes. Okay, close your eyes. And I usually go to about 10 seconds, take my hand off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and open your eyes. Okay, so at that point, if she's not losing her balance or swaying or whatever, we're ready to go to the next thing. So this next part has to do a little bit with what's going on orthopedically. She actually has the strength, or maybe she doesn't have a joint injury, but provided that's not a problem, then we're going to go to the balance. So it's going to be the same thing now. You're going to keep your eyes open, and you can take your hands off these handles
Okay.
just a little bit. Okay, I want you to put all your weight on your left leg, raise your right leg just a little bit, and we're going to do the same thing. I'm going to count to 10, so we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Go ahead and put your foot down. give them a minute to readjust. I usually actually model it, which I was doing unconsciously there. Okay, now we're going to do the other side. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good, good. And put it like, okay, at that point, I feel pretty sure her balance is good enough that she can walk without the gait belt.
Okay. Would you have a hand close to the gate belt or is just behind the back okay? Depends on the person too.
Yeah, and the instruction is to you can put your hand down. You feel
Oh,
like
right. If you feel like you're gonna
yeah.
fall, just put your hand
And I
down.
have
Okay.
my hand there for reassurance, and then I actually take it away a little bit.
Okay. Okay. Perfect.
You don't want about or something.
Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us. And I was gonna just mention that if any of you have a topic that you would like us to cover, then just feel free to leave it in the comments, and then we'll go ahead and cover that in one of our next videos. And thank you so much for watching another episode of Do Your Parents Want to Stay Home? Thanks, Don, for joining
You're
us.
welcome. Thanks for inviting me.